Pero, pero,
Ano bisa orang?
pero, ยุ่งไหมมาดูให้หน่อยดีคือไม่ได้ยินเสียงเข้าซูมได้แล้วรบกวนนิดนึงจ้ะ
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
เนี่ยเสียงมันไม่ค่อยดัง
Distinguished speakers, Rector of Universitas Pancasakti Tegal, Dr. Taufikullah Empuh, Chairman of Sekolah Tinggi Ilmu Ekonomi Totalwin, Dr. Hasan Abdul Razak, Vice Dean of Faculty of Business, Karabuk University, Profesor Dr. Hazan Al-Ozel, Dr. Pratana Srisuk
เขาฟ้อง
from
อยู่เลย
High
เขา
Global
เขาไม่
Business
ได้พูดครับเนี่ย
Administration
ฝั่งเขาปิดไป
and Technology
Oh,
College,
oh, nandiyan ka.
Thailand. Mr. Yosef Bagil, researcher in Public Law and Political Science, Morocco. Ladies and gentlemen, and all the participants of International Conference. Good evening and welcome to International Conference on Social Science, Humanities, Education, and Society. Ladies and gentlemen, and all the participant of Icons 2023, good evening and welcome to International Conference on Social Science, Humanities, Education, and Society Development. It's such an honor to welcome you all here in this event. I am Ahmad Habibullah, and I'm your host for today's conference. Ladies and gentlemen, this event will be divided into several segments. The first is opening. Second is singing national anthem, Indonesia, Thailand, Turkey, and Morocco. The third is welcoming remarks from Rector of Universitas Pancasakti, Tegal, Dr. Taufikullah MPU. The fourth is panel session. The fifth followed by parallel session. And the last one is closing. Opening. Ladies and gentlemen, let us commence this event by saying Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Singing national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for national anthem of Indonesia Raya, national anthem of Thailand, national anthem of Turkey, and national anthem of Morocco. Hadirin dimohon untuk berdiri. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Bapak Ibu, silakan untuk duduk kembali. The third agenda is welcoming speech from Rector Universitas Pancasakti Tegal. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like now to invite Rector of Universitas Pancasakti Tegal, Dr. Taufikullah Empu. Please do.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang. Good afternoon. Can you hear my voice? Ibu Yoga and the participants? Can you hear me? Apakah bisa dengar suara saya?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you very much. Today is a very outstanding day since we have a conference icon held by UPS. First of all, I would like to welcome the distinguished speakers of the conference. The first is Dr. Pratana Srisuk. Achan Pratana, hello, how are you? Dr. Pratana. Hello, Dr. Pratana, are you with us? Achan Pratana,
Hello, Dr. Taufik.
yeah, how are you?
I'm good. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you well, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for,
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, it's nice to see you again, even though, we have it in virtual. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Pratana, for attending in virtual way this conference. Dr. Pratana is the Director of Thai Global Business Administration and Technological College Thailand. And the second distinguished speaker is the Vice Dean of Faculty of Business, Sarabuk University. Hello, Professor Dr. Hassan. Hello, Dr. Hassan. Are you with us?
It is not joined yet, sir.
Oh, not joined yet. Okay, and then the next speaker is Mr. Yusuf Pakil. Hello, Yusuf. Are you with us?
And also Mr. Yusuf Bagil.
On the way, the researcher in public law and political science Morocco, dan tentunya rekan-rekan sekalian dari Universitas Pancasakti Tegal, my colleagues, the lecturers of Universitas Pancasakti Tegal, being present with us are some vice rectors. Ya, ada Bapak Wakil Rektor, ada Pak Dr. Fajar, dan yang lain. Ada juga Pak Imam, kemudian also the Dean of the Law Faculty, the Dean of the Business and Economic Faculty, dan Bapak Ibu dosen sekalian, dan juga moderator Bu Yoga, also the committee member of the ITENS 2023. Yeah. Thank you very much for participating in this conference in a hybrid way. Jadi untuk conference ini memang dilaksanakan secara hybrid. Some are attending this conference in a virtual way. Some are in offline way. San Pratana, I'm really sorry. I also cannot go to Kuala Lumpur since I have things to do here in Indonesia. And I also had the news, Dr. Pratana, that you also couldn't fly to Kuala Lumpur from some reason, but it's okay. I mean, even we have the conference in a virtual way, but I believe that there will be meaningful things that we could gather, we could gain throughout this conference. Dear the speakers and also the ladies and gentlemen, the participants of the conference, the International Conference on Social Science, Humanities, Education and Society Development, ICONS 2023, is an annual conference held by Universitas Pancasakti, Tegal. Today's conference is quite different from the previous one. In the previous one, we held the conference at our own campus, but this year, since to implement our agenda of globalization, we hold the conference in Kuala Lumpur. We also invite some speakers from some part of our partner universities. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody, this conference is aimed at exploring current issues and insights regarding social multidisciplinary fields such as education, business and economy, law, public policies, community development, and others. It is expected that throughout the conference, we will get the new perspective of the current trends and issues of the fields above and how to cope with them. To the speakers of the conference and also to the speakers of the conference, both in the plenary and parallel sessions, thank you for your participation and availability to attend and take part in this conference, both in a virtual and in offline way. We are looking forward to your ideas to share in the conference. I also thanks a lot to the committee of the conference for organizing this conference as well. So I welcome you all to this conference. Enjoy the conference. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, Dr. Taufikullah and Book. Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is panel session. I would like to give it to Dr. Yoga Prihatin to be a moderator for the panel session. To Dr. Yoga, please do.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before we start the main agenda, I would like to introduce you to all the speakers. Short provide. Masih semangat nggak Bapak Ibu? Suaranya dong. Sudah makan belum? Jangan ngantuk. Apa yang tadi malam tidur? While we are waiting for Pak Prior to share the screen. Dewi, jangan setelah kau jalan-jalan ya. Well, our first speaker is what? Okay, Dr. Hassan Abdul Razak, SH, PM, MM, Head of Totolin College of Economics, Vice President Operations, Asia Council for Small Business, Coordinator, Deputy General Chairperson for Organization, Human Resources Quality, Law and Communications, Indonesian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Chairpersons of Education Foundation, 2029, 29, Semarang. Next, please. And our Dr. Bato, he is our researcher in public law and political science local. Online teaching lecturer at Universitas Pancasakti Tegal, international speaker. He works also for the Ministry of Domestic Affairs in Morocco. Professor Dr. Hassan Al-Oja, Vice Dean of Faculty of Business, Arab University, Turkey, bachelor's degree, Kanakale on Teki Smart University with the Faculty of Economics and Administrative Science. Master degree, this is very difficult. Correct me if I'm wrong on pronunciation. Kanakale on Teki Smart University, Institute of Social Science Economy. Doctoral degree, Istanbul University Institute of Social Science Economy. Okay, next, Dr. Pratana Sisu, Director of Thai Global Business Administration, Technological College, Thailand, Bachelor of Arts in English, Rakum Haeng University, Master of Education, Burapa University, and last one is International Program of Human Resource Development, Burapa University. Thank you. Pak Priyo. Well, ladies and gentlemen, these are our honorable speakers today. And it is an honor for me to invite our first honorable speaker, our rector, Dr. Taufikullah Ahmed. Dr. Taufikullah, please. You will be the first presenter, Pak Rector. Hello, Pak Rector.
Okay. Bisa dilihat share screen saya? Sudah kelihatan? Halo?
Ulangi, Pak.
Sudah bisa kelihatan belum ya?
Not yet, not yet, not yet.
Saya sudah share screen padahal.
Would you like us to help you, Pak Rector?
Diulangi.
Diulangi.
Stop dulu.
Oh, stop first. We can see well, Pak Rector.
Saya share screen ya, Bu Yoga ya.
Yes, Pak Rector.
Ya, oke, bisa kelihatan nggak? Ya.
Ya.
Oke, thank you very much, Bapak Ibu sekalian. Mohon maaf saya tidak bisa hadir secara offline ya. Tapi alhamdulillah sudah terrepresentasi semuanya. Ini kalau saya lihat di ruangan ini sudah lengkap semua ya. Ada Bu Yoga, ada Pak WR2, ada Bu Dewi, ada Pak Aris, ada Pak Arif. Ada siapa lagi nih? Pak Irwan juga ya. Ada Pak Irwan, ada Mas Abi, terus sudah banyak kayaknya di ruangan ini ya. Baik, untuk speaker yang sudah hadir siapa saja Bu Yoga?
Baru Dr. Pratana, Prof. Hasan, saya telepon Pak, tapi sudah ready.
Oke.
Mereka sudah siap. Okay.
Ya, kita sambil ngobrol-ngobrol dulu sebentar ya. So, saya kebetulan mengusung makalah Managing Indonesian Higher Education in Digital Era. Ya. Halo, Dr. Pratana, are you with us? Jangan. Halo, Bu Yoga.
Ya, Pak.
Saya kok suaranya kecil sekali ya, Bu ya?
Keras, Bapak.
Okay, so let me continue managing Indonesian higher education in digital era. Yeah, of course, this is our capital. Jadi modal bangsa Indonesia ya, in terms of the number of population, and then the growth rate, and then the tribe, the religion, and belief, the local language, and also political parties. So we have this much capital. I think this is quite different from Thailand, yeah. So Indonesia is quite complex since we have a big number of populations, yeah, and also big number of the local languages, yeah, and yeah, political parties, religion, and others. So Indonesia is a multicultural country. All right. the issue that I raised in this conference is about education, yeah? How to manage higher education in Indonesia. So before that, I would like to give you the short perspective here of Indonesian education today. So it relates or it consists of the new policies and rules. Yeah, 2019, our Ministry of Education and Culture, Research and Technology launched new policies in education by launching the concepts of emancipated learning, emancipated curriculum, or emancipated campus. We call emancipated curriculum, meaning curriculum merdeka, kampus merdeka. And then our government also focus on the link and match higher education and industry. How higher educations could connect with industry so that they could facilitate the graduate, yeah, to the working field. And then also another focus of Indonesian education today is enhancing digital literacy. So moving or transforming conventional ways into digital methods are is becomes one of the focus of our education today. That's why we need also to enhance the digital infrastructure and internationalization. So this is the portrait of Indonesian education today. Smart Society Era 5.0. Currently, we are now leading to Smart Society Era 5.0. It is in response to the disruptions era. So, for a couple of years before pandemic and also after the pandemic or post-pandemic, we have been in the era of 4.0. Yeah, 4.0 industry era. And then now we are heading to smart society era. In 4.0 industry era, so it is also called disruption era, in which that there are many new technologies coming to Indonesia, and then those technologies disrupted the existing technology or the existing ones, yeah, in our country. But then I'm responding to Smart Society Era 5.0, then also what we need to prepare or things that we need to put into our culture about knowledge, skill, attitude, and also value. And then this era will take the human role, yeah, into a central again. So how to combine both technology and human, yeah. Human plays central role. So even though now we have sophisticated technologies, but then human still plays an important role, yeah, with the technologies. All right. Also, and this is also about digital literacy. So digital literacy becomes one of the main concerns in our education today. Yeah, in all level of education, from primary school into high school. If we talk about technology, so then it deals with how to use digital tools, internet wisely and appropriately. And then information, how to find or synthesize, evaluate, assemble, compare information fast and widely. And then the last is communication. So in digital literacy, so how we connect, yeah, the three components here, technology, information, and communication, how to communicate. This is about critical thinking and how to insert moral and ethics, yeah, in the use of technology. So we cannot use technology as free as we can, but there are some rules, yeah, there are some cultures that we need to follow. Yeah, even when we use social media, yeah, we have to use media appropriately, wisely. So we cannot use the media as we want, but there are some rules or norms that we need to follow. Yeah, that's why it concerns with the moral and ethics. Yeah, it is about the way we communicate in any kind of technological tools. Objective. So actually, what is the purpose of the higher education, managing higher education? Yeah, to accomplish the visions of the institution. I think this is the narrow objective, even at my university. So the purpose of managing higher education, yeah, managing UPS, Universitas Pancasakti Tegal, is to accomplish the vision of the institution. So our visions of the institution is to become the competitive institution in a global way. So that's why, I mean, all the programs that we have, all the programs that we conduct refer to the accomplishing the vision of the institution. So our visions ends in 2028. Then after that, we will have a new visions. And besides that, I mean, another objective of managing higher education in Indonesia is to reach the key performance indicators from the Ministry of Education and Culture, Research and Technology. So I think this is, yeah, maybe, I mean, it goes to the global way, yeah. It becomes, these indicators will respond to the needs of people, the needs of the students, yeah, also the needs of the society. These are the 8 key performance indicators. These indicators were launched by our Ministry of Education and Culture, Research and Technology, that in order that a university is considered to be competitive, then that university should meet these 8 key performance indicators. The first is graduate, get decent job. So the main purpose of society to send their children to study at the university, yeah, because they expect that they could get the decent job after they graduate. And the second is how the student could get experience outside of campus, and also the lecturers could be productive, yeah, could do a lot of activities outside in terms of teaching and learning, in terms of research, or in terms of community service. And how the use, I mean, the teachers' work or the lecturers' work are used by the society. I mean, their work are not only for the institution or for developing their career, but also how their work are used by the society. And about the study program should be internationally collaborate and then participate in collaborative classroom, how we can make a reform, make a transformation to set up, I mean, the classroom in a collaborative or a participative way. And also how we internationally collaborate, international standard study program. The 3 pillars of the program, strengthening the 3 pillars of the higher education, digitalization and internationalization. So comparing with maybe, I mean, the programs of managing higher education in Thailand, in Morocco, yeah, in Malaysia, and then also in Turkey, yeah, I could see that, I mean, the second one, digitalization, becomes one of the focus. In order that to create a competitive campus, I can say a modern campus, a millennial campus, which respond to the needs of uh, Z generation or millennial generation, then we have to put the digitalization agenda on the top, yeah, uh, along with the internationalizing the campus. Digitalization is also a must, yeah. How we could move things at campus from conventional, from the traditional one into the digital ones. Yeah, how we set up the LMS, how we set up the informatic system or the system for service, and then also for research, for community service, and then for other activities at campus. And then how to achieve. Those are the 3 pillars. How to lead, I mean, an institution to reach its vision, and also how to accomplish the 8 key performance indicators stipulated by our government. As I stated above, the 8 key performance indicators, and how to achieve that indicators. Of course, we have some ways. Yeah, we have many ways to achieve the indicators. The first is the broad networking with stakeholders. How a university could connect with the stakeholder as many as possible. It depends on the users. Yeah. Let me give you an example. Like UPS, my university has 6 faculties. The faculty of teacher training and education. Then we should open the broad networking, the broad connections with some schools, with education institution, to facilitate our graduate year of the faculty. And also we have the faculty of economic and business. We should then open the broad networking or the broad collaboration with companies or with companies in international or in national, multinational or international level, then to share our students when they graduate. So we also have the faculty of law, we also have the faculty of fishery, yeah, and marine science. We have the faculty of social and political studies. Yeah. We also have the faculty of engineering and computer science. So currently we are now focusing on opening the broad networking, opening the wide collaboration with the user, with our user, with the stakeholder. And then the second way to achieve the objective is by reforming the curriculum. Yeah, following the policy of our government who launched the emancipated curriculum, then we need to refine, yeah, we need to reform the curriculum in all study programs. So based on the rule or based on the decree of what is it, our Ministry of Education and Culture, that in the new curriculum, the students are what is given the opportunity to study at their own department for 5 semesters, and then the rest, and they could do activities outside for emancipated learning. And the new learning paradigm, how we set up the class in a what is it, in a participatory and in a collaborative way. That during the pandemic, we did our teaching and learning activities online. We set up LMS, learning management system, and we set up many platform concerning with the service of academic activities at our campus. And then how to cope with that? Yeah, that those things still need to be kept. Yeah, still need to be maintained. So even that now we are in the post-pandemic, but we are still using our own LMS. We are still using many what is it, information platform, yeah, to run many academic activities at our campus. And then the next way, I mean, to achieve the objective, yeah, to reach the visions of the institution, also to meet the 8 key performance indicators, is by higher institutions should invite the practitioners to teach, to share with the students, so that the students get a lot from their lecturers, the concepts, yeah, of the discipline where they are in, but they need also to share with the practitioners, yeah, how to connect the concept they get, yeah, in the classroom, and then also, I mean, the concept or the practices in the field. This is a very important thing, yeah. So the students are not only taught, but are not only taught by their lecturer, but also they are taught by the practitioners. We invite what is it, the practitioner from the schools, from the companies, from the government office to teach, to share with our students. So both students and also teachers will get the new insight, will get the new, what is it, feedback about many practices which happen in the field. Yeah? Not only what is it, tied on the situation, tied on the concept that they only get from the lectures. And then the next way to manage or to reach the objective is also higher institution or the institution should provide more opportunities for the lecturers to be productive. yeah, how, I mean, we lead the lecturers to be productive in terms of teaching and learning activities, how they could produce learning material, they could produce module, and then how to lead the lecturers to be productive in research, yeah, how they could do a lot of research, and which end with, say, the scientific publication in the journal, in international or even in national journal. And also, universities also need to be more, what is it? Give more opportunities for the lecturers to be productive in the community service, and also to the aspect or components of the three pillars of higher education in Indonesia. So the three pillars of higher education are the education and the teaching and learning, and then the research, and also the community service. And the last, of course, this is a must that we should conduct here from now on, how to bridge the international collaboration. The international collaboration should be done, yeah, in the level of study program or department, and also the faculty, and also you to you, university to university. That's all, I think, my short presentation. That later maybe we can open the discussion. Oh, yeah. This is, I still have one or two slides. These are some, the curriculum, our new curriculum, or the concept for our emancipated learning, that the students, beside they do activities at campus, they learn, they major, they learn in the classroom, but also they could do some various activities outside, like student exchange, internship, teaching assistant, research, humanity project, entrepreneurship, independent research, and also community service. Thank you very much. That's all my presentation. I think we can share a lot later with the other speakers of the conference. Thank you, Ibu Yoga. That's all my presentation.
Yeah, thank you so much, Director, for a very excellent presentation, ladies and gentlemen. Our rector talks about the three pillars of the higher education program that strengthening the three dharma of the word education and education, and which means the status that are now becoming our university program. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor for me to invite Professor Hassan. Hello, Professor, the Vice Dean of Faculty and Economics and Business of Harvard University, Turkey.
Hello, dear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure, but yeah, we can hear you. Could you please
Okay.
turn on the camera, please? Could you turn on the camera to say hi first? I cannot see your face. So we may say hello to the audience here because they would like to know you.
Okay. I am trying.
Okay, thank you. Hi. Nice meeting you again.
Okay.
Our
It's
rector-
first time.
Yeah. Professor Hassan, our rector is the Dr. Tawfiq. You remember him? You remember Dr. Tawfiq?
Hello, Dr. Hassan. How are you?
Hello, fine, thanks. And you?
Yeah.
So, sorry, my laptop cannot connect the internet, so I connect with my phone. So the sound is not good. I am sorry about this.
It's okay. Your voice is very clear, very clear. You want
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So you're going to present PPT now?
Yes, of course.
Okay, you have 5 minutes. Maybe
If you
Paisa would say something.
If you share, if possible, you can share my presentation. I will start.
Sure. Yeah, we will. Can you see the screen well?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
First of all, I greet everyone. I am not in my office as I have much pre-planned dream. I am sorry for that, but it's nice to be able to talk here. As you know, many studies constructed in the last 30 years refers to globalization. In particular, developing countries are the cause of globalization on the one hand, and the result of on the other. Globalization has advantage as well as disadvantage. I think the advantage are more dominant. I think that globalization also has an effect on Saudi Arabian football was watching Cristiano Ronaldo. In addition, the meeting of academics from different countries on this platform can be associated with globalization. Globalization is a concept that spans a wide area. I want to give a talk about economic globalization. As we know, economic globalization has two main pillars. Trade liberalization, no, not now. Okay, thank you. As we know, economic globalization has two main pillars, trade liberalization and financial liberalization. Trade openness is used to measure the level of trade liberalization of countries. Financial openness is used to measure the level of financial liberalization. I would like to give information on trade, where chemical activities are more important than financial activities in daily life. This is figure 1, the trade openness in the world by years. Not now. Start year in 2001 and until now. There are several ways used to scale a country's level of trade openness. In these ways, I prefer to the formula which both more popular and similar by summing export and import divided by real gross domestic product. The figure shows trade openness levels in the world. As we can see, there is been no significant change in major economic over the years. Okay, we can change the figure to this is figure 2, total export by countries groups. World Trade Organization data is used in figure 2. Figure 2 shows total export to country groups in the world. High-income countries initially make up a significant portion of total export. The situation which has lasted until 1990s. The figure shows that the share of high-income countries in the world exports decreased rapidly after the 1990s. The share of high-income countries in the world export has been more stable between 2010 and 2020. After 2020, it entered a downward trend again. The share of upper middle income countries in the world total export has increased over time. This shows that while the total export in the world trade are decreasing in high economic income countries, upper middle income countries are increasing. In other words, upper middle income countries filled the gap of high income countries. There has been no significant change in lower middle income countries and lower income countries over time. Since the 1990s, the end of the Cold War, the dissolution of USSR, the establishment of new countries, the rapid translation of newly established countries to the free market economy, and the rapid economic growth trend of these newly established countries seem to have affected both trade. It's also known that since the 1990s, countries have made more mutual and multilateral trade agreements. While trade is not much translation between low-income countries group and lower middle-income countries group, there is more translation between upper middle-income countries group and high-income countries group. For example, some of the former USSR countries are included in the high-income countries group today. Can we change the other page? Okay, thank you. This figure three, trade openness and income. This figure shows the result of the regression model between trade openness and national income. In this model, country groups are grouped as low income, low middle income, upper middle income, and high income. In 2001, as the gross domestic products of countries in the low income group increased, it was observed that the trade openness also increased. The regression coefficient, which was positive in 2010, turned negative 2011. In 2011, the regression coefficient of lower income countries was 0.11. In 2010, this coefficient turned negative. For example, 1 unit increase in gross domestic product 2016 caused 0.58 unit decrease in trade openness. Although there are significant break in the regression model of lower income countries over time, it is since it's around the 0 point. Although it says that 1 unit increasing is gross domestic product 2022 causes a decrease of 0.011, this is not statistically significant coefficient. Countries in the lower middle income group, on the other hand, performed better than lower income countries in the economic growth and trade deficit regression model. All the lower middle income countries were closer to zero compared to lower income countries in 2001. It is says that the increase in gross domestic product, with a few exceptions, increased trade openness. These exceptions are between 2008 and 2009, and between 2020 and 2021. For example, regression coefficient was 0.45 in 2019 and 2021. For example, regression coefficient was 0.45 2029. As a result, 1 unit increase in gross domestic product in 2020 increased the trade openness by 0.68 units. In the countries that make up the upper middle income group, a 1 unit increase in gross domestic product in 2021 reduced the trade openness by minus 0.018. In fact, the regression coefficient decreased to minus 0.88 in 2005. This negative relationship continued until 2007, unlike coefficient took positive values expected for 2020. The regression coefficient was 1.83 in 2015 and 1.94 in 2016. Therefore, 1 unit increase in gross domestic product in 2017 increased trade openness by 1.94, and 1 unit increase in gross domestic product in 2016 increased trade openness 1.94 units. Similarly, the lower middle income group, the regression coefficient of the upper middle income countries also decreased in 2020. In upper middle income countries, a 1 unit increase in gross domestic product in 2020 reduced the trade openness by minus 0.24. The regression coefficient was 3.78 in 2021 and 3.80 in 2022. The highest regression coefficient in country groups explained was seen in 2022 for upper middle income countries. In the early 2020s, the strongest relationship between gross domestic product and trade openness in the high income countries. Each unit of increase in gross domestic product 2001 increased the trade openness by 0.58. In 2002, 2002, the regression coefficient was 0.7. This positive relationship decreased and continues until 2007. The negative regression relationship, which started in 2008, continued until 2016. The regression coefficient of high-income countries becomes positive again in 2017. In 2017, regression coefficient was 0.07. The regression coefficient was 1.27 in 2021 and 1.61 in 2022. High-income countries were less affected by the pandemic in terms of economic growth and trade openness compared to upper middle income countries. However, upper middle income countries saw a higher regression relationship after the pandemic. Can we change the other page? This is the formula of regression model. And can we change the other page? This is the example of 2022. I can't read the what read because it is my eyes not good to read. I hope you can read this what's right in there.
Yeah, it's right there.
This is data, the only 2022 years data from World Bank. And the next page.
Done.
Okay, this is all. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you so much, Professor Hassan. Very excellent presentation. But may I ask you a question? How is Turkey economics after the earthquake and after the election? I think President Erdogan won the elections again. How is the economy?
Sorry,
How is the
I-
economy in Turkey right now after the earthquake hit Turkey?
okay, I understand. Earthquake is not the center of the Turkey because the most of production in Turkey, Istanbul, Izmir, Antalya, Ankara. So the effect of the earthquake is local, but the earthquake is most important and more damaged in Turkey. So the government start to rebuilding this area. Economic effect also with budget about rebuilding.
I see. I got the point. So it doesn't affect much of the Turkey economic of Turkey in general because it's locally happened in Turkey. So everything is fine there. Now the government is rebuilding the economy, the growth of the economy.
Sorry, your voice is not clear. If you can write, I can understand more.
Sure. I will write to your email then because we are really sorry for the trouble. I don't know what happens with my microphone here. But anyway, Professor Hassan, thank you very much. I give the first sentence of the presentation. I'm really sorry for the trouble. Whether the audience here have a question and answer. If there are no questions, then I will I will I will proceed to the next presenters. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have any questions here? Oh, well, okay. The only question is from me, but I will write again into your email or maybe WhatsApp you for the economic conditions of Turkey. Thank you so much, Professor Hassan. And I know you are in
Hey.
Hungary right now.
Thank you. Thank you. I am happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thank
and
you so much.
it's an honor. It's a great honor for me, for us here to have you as our first speaker for the first time. We are very honored. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. All right. Thank you. Okay. Ikaw naman eh. Hindi ka din ako. What about electricity? It is an honor to say hi to Director of Total Wind, from Dr. Hassan. Director, are you here? I saw him at once just to say hello, to honor him. Hello, Director. Director of Total Wind. Dr. Hassan. Hello, Director. Oh, okay. I think he must be busy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor for me as the moderator to invite the Honorable, our beloved Director of Thai Global Business and Administration, Dr. Pratana Visuk. Hello, Doctor. Hello, Doctor. Dr. Pratana, hello, Doctor. Sorry for my microphone.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Good afternoon, Dr. Yoga.
Good afternoon, Doctor. It's nice meeting you.
Did
here.
you hear me?
Yes, very.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you very well, Doctor. Very well.
Did you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because
Yes,
I
yes.
seldom hear you.
Doctor.
Yeah. It's okay, man.
Yeah, okay. You have 10 minutes.
His
to
voice, her
present.
voice.
I will
Thank
share.
you. Yeah,
I will
yeah.
share, but not.
Would you like to share by your?
Help me share. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please do.
How? New share, right?
Yes,
Yeah. And
your PowerPoint. Take this one.
my PowerPoint, this one.
Is that your PowerPoint?
Yes, you hear me this, right? Okay. Hello. Good afternoon, Dr. Yoga.
So, yeah, Dr. Pratana, we still here.
Okay. Can I start?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you so much, Dr. Yoga, Dr. Tofik. My topic is education and learning strategies to improve the quality in post-academic era. In the pandemic has affected the public's mental health crisis and well-being in a variety of ways, including through isolation and loneliness, jobless, and financial instability, and illness and grief. So this happened and it teaches us how to develop human capital. When we speak of human capital, I emphasize that education. So after the crisis, everything what change, but in the term of education, needs to improve the quality of education and learn strategic in post-pandemic era. So please let me share you first. We recognize of the human security because the first priority is shift from the economy to human security in 4 aspects: food, healthcare, energy, and job. In these 4 aspects, it's related with education. I mean that how to develop our human capital to have the good knowledge of food, healthcare, energy, and job, and they can apply these 4 aspects to their daily life. So in education and human capital, we should reinventing in education and human capital improvement in education system. That means education systems need to enhance learning capacity such as hybrid education model. In hybrid education models, here means we can provide education in both online and offline. And also the educations for the learner should be reskilling and upskilling program for lifelong learnings. For lifelong learnings, I recognize the importance of learning to cultivate how to learn in the learners. So the student can have the way to learn, to study, not what to learn, but they have the tool to study how to learn. That's bring the education is sustainable by themselves. Besides, lifelong learning is mean that how to encourage the student to eager to learn anywhere, anytime, and they can apply their knowledge for their lives that will bring to life skill in the learners. So in the new normal, the learners' qualification and skills must be developed to life skill. Life skill is very important. Nowadays, the student can learn only functional competencies like that, and the other skills such as language skill, technology skill. But after the pandemic, I think that life skills become very important. It means that the students are interested in and capable of doing. So the instructors must guide the student to take action and practice until they can master the skills. The life skills in here means a group of psychosocial competencies, international skill, interpersonal skills. So the life skill relates with decision making, solve problem, think critically, and creativity. Empathize with others, manage their lives in healthy and productive manner, learn to deal with difficult emotions, and learn to listen carefully, and learn to communicate effectively, and know how to build healthy relationships. These are life skills that I mentioned here, and I would like the institute develop the student and cultivate them to have this skill in the new normal, so they can learn new things and live happily and safely in society. Besides, physical classrooms should be less important because people learn or study from their smartphone, tablets, or computers. The landscape has changed from physical classroom to online platform. Learners study via online tools such as YouTube, videos, IT devices are also a must, such as the internet, computers, laptop, tablet, smartphone. These become the learning tool to students that they can use to study by themselves and bring to lifelong learning. And also the instructor can change their roles as the facilitator. I will speak later. Education in new normal can be online or a mixture of online and offline classes. Executive of education institutions must implement an educational management system that focus on digital skills and plan class based on learners' capabilities and needs. This is, you will teach the student to learn by themselves next. So in the instructor change their role as facilitator. That means they can provide the learning tool for students, create learning environment, guide how to learn, and knowledge sharing, not emphasize on only knowledge base. And the instructor should become coach and mentor for the student to learn new things. Curriculum design. Educational institutions should redesign their curriculum by making them more flexible and fresh and adhering to the public health standard and the lifelong learning principle. The curriculum must also be implemented in workplace or career. For example, some curriculums the students study and the students do not know how to apply for their life, for their career. This should be changed again to let the student learn by doing and learn for implementation. Moreover, the learning skills in the new normal, I should suggest for the new skill in the new normal, such as adaptive thinking. Adaptive thinking requires creativity and analytic skills, solve problems as well as effective planning, flexibility, and critical thinking. New media literacy that I recognize that all the students know well. Computational thinking and sense making. Computational thinking is mean that the student can identify the problems, identify all the informations they gain, and they can analyze and conclude as the innovation or the new knowledge. Complex problem solving skill and leadership and people management skill. These skills we should cultivate for them in the new normal. So in conclusion, I would like to suggest for the teacher's role, as I mentioned before, that should change to be mentoring, supervising, or facilitator, and the student can access the education provision. For example, during the COVID-19, I would like to give you as a case study in Thailand, some students who stay remote, such as in the local country, they cannot access the education, so they do not know how to manage themselves during the COVID-19, how to take care, how to heal themselves when they face the disease like that. So we must prepare well for the new normal. And then changing learning system and human development should be into three main principles. First, conventional learning to experiential learning. Conventional learning such as learning with fixed time, whole classroom lecturers, testing the knowledge of students through examinations, teacher-led instruction, and plenty of structures, objectives, and modes of assessment such as grade. And conventional learning materials include textbooks, readings, or calculator. These are the conventional learning that should be changed in the new normal era. To experiential learning, such as process of learning by doing, such as in TGBC, we provide the student as learning by doing. It means that the student can practice their skill until become the master. Engage student in hand-on experiences and reflection, able to connect theories and knowledge in the classroom to real-world situation. Tour, camp, and site visits, etc. Also, internships, have all laboratories, experiments, practicums, study abroad, field exercise, and research. These are experiential learning that should be provided in the new normal. Next, functional competence learning should be changed to people skills. Functional competence learning, actually, it is very important because it means that the job can be completed well. Functional competence such as accounting, or some skill that needs for the functions or the people who responsibility in that job. It should have, but we should add more for the people skills. People skills such as able to communicate and interact with others effectively. Patience, empathy, conflict resolution, and emotional intelligence. These are people skills that should practice the student or cultivate in the student also with the functional competence. This will make them be perfect one. And the last one, knowledge database to knowledge sharing. I mean that we should change from knowledge database to knowledge sharing. Knowledge database means centralized repository of information, a public library, for example. But knowledge sharing is exchange knowledge among people, friends, peers, families, communities, within or between organizations. That I share you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Patana, for wonderful presentation. This is very informative for your presentation. There are three main things that change learning system. If the educators will be much better. That you have mentioned three main things about experiential learning, people skill, and knowledge sharing. Thank you so much, Dr. Patana. Just stay there because we will have question and answer, but after the two presentations. Now I'm going to say hi. Before I invite Mr. Yosef Akil for the second presentations, I would like to say hi to Director of STIA Local Indonesia, Pak Dr. Hasan. Pak, hello. Pak Dr.
Hello.
Assalamualaikum. Yeah, it's nice meeting you.
Waalaikumsalam.
Our first meeting. Yeah, and it is an honor for us to have you here as one of our speakers. Thank you so much for being here, Pak. You want to say something? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. So, Bapak, you will have your presentations after Mr. Yosef Bakir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. 15 minutes after this. Thank you. Now, I would like to say hi to Mr. Yosef Bakir. Are you here? Hello? Mr. Yosef?
Hello.
Hello? Mr. Yosef Bakir, are you here? Hello, Mr. Yosef Bakir, please.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wait hold a second, Pak Rektor. Your turn will be after
Benar.
Mr. Yosef Bakir. Bapak, setelah Pak Yosef Bakir nih, Bapak. After this. Pak Rektor, halo.
Bu Yoga, bisa
Ya.
dibuka untuk co-host saya ya? Ini belum bisa
Pak
masuk
Rektor.
ya?
Setelah Pak Yosef nih, Pak Rektor, karena Pak Yosef beliau akan pergi bekerja. So after Pak Yosef, setelah Pak Yosef nih, Pak Rektor, based on your schedule, that will be after Mr. Yosef Bakir. Pak Rektor, Pak Jati, could you explain? Pak Jati, halo Pak Jati. Pak Jati, halo Pak Jati. Pak, ya soalnya mau. Okay. Well, hello Mr. Yosef Bakir, are you there? Hello, can you hear my voice? No, we cannot. Unmute, unmute. Unmute, please.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello. You hear me now?
Yeah. We can hear you well now. Thank you so much for being here. So you may start your presentations for about 10 minutes. You asked, I'm sorry, would you like us to share the screen? Your PDF or you have, or no need to,
I don't mind.
No need to share the screen.
Okay.
Sharing the screen or not?
I don't hear you very well. Okay.
Would you like us to share the screen, your PowerPoint, and no need?
I don't have any problem with this. If you want, you can share it. If you don't want, it's up to you.
Okay. So you may start 10 minutes from now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I can start now or after 10 minutes?
Yes, please.
Now.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be here with you today to present this very important topic. So my presentation, it will be about an introduction to the Moroccan legal system. I will start with a presentation or introduction about Morocco. So Morocco is a constitutional, democratic, parliamentary, and social monarchy. It is bounded to be the west in the Atlantic Ocean and the north of the Strait of Gibraltar and the Mediterranean, and it's separated from the European continent by only 40 kilometers. It has common terrestrial borders with Algeria, Mauritania, and Spain. The native people of Morocco are an ancient race called the Berbers. After 44 years as a French protectorate, Morocco attained independence in 1956. Since independence, Morocco law has been shaped by French civil law and the combination of Muslim and Jewish traditions. The Constitution of Morocco has also played a pivotal role in shaping the law and legal system in Morocco. The most recent constitutional development took place following the Arab Spring. Following this uprising, Morocco drafted and adopted a new constitution in July 2011. The Moroccan political and constitutional context represents an interesting situation in that it has a reigning monarch that has been in power for more than 3 centuries. There are a number of languages in Morocco. The two official languages are Modern Standard Arabic and Amazigh. Moroccan Arabic, as Darija, is the spoken native vernacular. The language of prestige in Morocco are the Arabic and the classical and the modern standard form of French, the latter of which serves as second language for many Moroccans. Now we will move to the executive power. As the first chapter, the Moroccan is composed of the Prime Minister and ministers. The king presides over the Council of Ministers, composed of the head of government and of ministers. The government is accountable to the king and the parliament, the Prime Minister. The king appoints the head of government from within the political party, arriving ahead in the elections of the members of the Chamber of Representatives. And with a view to their result, the country's new constitution of 2011 has strengthened the authority of the country's prime ministers, allowing him or her to appoint the government official and dissolve parliament. After the appointment of the cabinet members by the prime minister, he submits the program about national activity, namely in economic, social, cultural, and foreign affairs, to each one of the 2 houses of parliament. At the House of Representatives, the program must be put to the vote. Under the Prime Minister's responsibility, the government inside the execution of laws and public facilities are placed to the government disposal. Now we will move to the legislative power, the parliament. The parliament exercises the legislative power. It votes on the laws, control the action of the government, and evaluate the public policies. The parliament is composed of 2 chambers, the Chamber of Representatives and the Chamber of Councillors. The members of the Chamber of Representatives are elected for 5 years by universal direct suffrage. The members of the Chamber of the House of Councillors are elected for 6 years by indirect universal suffrage. The king presides over the opening sessions of Parliament, which hold its meeting during 2 sessions every year. The first session begins on the 2nd Tuesday in October, and the second session begins on the 2nd Tuesday in April. The parliamentary may be convened in extraordinary sessions by demand of 1/3 of the members of the Chamber of Representatives, or of the majority of those of the Chamber Councillor, or by decree, or by the majority of the Chamber of Councillors. Members of Parliament may not be arrested in the exercise of their functions, except in case where the opinion expressed challenges the monarchy, form of the state, the Muslim religions, or constitutes an infringement of the respect for the king. Now we will move to the judicial system. Morocco's constitution under Article 82 proclaims that the judicial authority is independent from the legislative power and the executive power. The king is the guarantor of the independence of the judicial power. Courts in Morocco are regulated by the Decree of 15 July 1974. On the organization of the courts are amended and modified. The judiciary is divided into three principal types of courts, which are, first of all, the general jurisdiction courts, secondly, specialized jurisdiction court, and the third, second, special courts. Now we will move to the last chapter. It's about other authorities in the legal Moroccan system. We can talk about the Constitutional Council. The Constitutional Council exercises the power vested in it under the Constitution and the provision of the Act establishing the Council, pending the establishment of the Constitutional Court provided for in the current 2011 Constitution. The Constitutional Council is made up of 6 members appointed by the King for a 9-year period. 6 other members are appointed for the same period, half of them by the President of the House of Representatives and the other half by the President of the House of Councillors. A third of each category of members is renewed either 3 years before their proclamation, organic law, and the rule of procedures of each house are submitted to the Constitutional Council. Further examine the validity of the election of members are parliamentary independent and the constitutionality of regularity laws and ordinary laws. The King, the Prime Minister, the President of the House of Representatives, and the President of the House of Councillors, or 1/4 of the member making up one house or the other can refer in the Constitutional Council before proclamation of the law. The Constitutional Council has 1 month to decide upon the special instance in case of emergency. The deadline is reduced to 8 days. If so requested by the government decision or the Constitutional Council, are imposed upon all public authorities, administrative and judicial. No unconstitutional provisions are promulgated or implemented. Now we will move to the Economic and Social Council. The Economic and Social Council was officially inaugurated in 2011. It may be consolidated by the government as well as the House of Representatives and the House of Councillors on all matters of economic or social nature. It shall give its opinion of the general guidelines pertaining to the national economy and the training programs. Administrative setup. The administrative in the Kingdom of Morocco is organized by 2 assemblies, local communities and local assemblies. The assemblies have the following competence: determination of mode and mechanism for the collection of duties and taxes destined for the prefecture of the province regional development program, industrial decentralization project, rule of establishment for provincial and prefectural public services, the classification, maintenance, and the extension of routes. Other important institution, the Inter-Ministerial Unit on Human Rights in 2011, the National Human Rights Council, which replaced the Consultative Council of Human Rights, Office of the Ombudsman established in March 2011, and the High Authority for Audio-Visual Communication, and the Higher Council for Education, and the Central Anti-Corruption Authority, and the Competitive Council, and the Royal Institute of Amazigh Culture, the Royal Advisory Council for Saharan Affairs, the National Observatory for Human Development, the National Commission for the Control and the Protection of Personal Data, the National Commission on International Humanities Law, Equity and Reconciliation Commission. And I think that's all about my presentation, and thank you so much. If you have any question or inquiries, I'm here to answer it. Thank you so much. Hello. Hello, Dr. Yoga.
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me well? Thank you so much for your presentations today. And we are honored that you are here, like always. And we would like to have one more presentation from the director of SPE Totalwin. He is here already. Mr. Bakil again. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you. And
Thank you so much.
Yeah, the question and answer will be after the director's presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor for me to invite Dr. Hassan, director of SPE Totalwin, to present his talk. Dr. Hassan, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay.
You will have 10 minutes to present. Yeah. please
Okay.
do. Thank you.
Oke. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Good day, everyone. Your Excellency, Rector of Pancasakti Tegal, Dr. Taufikullah M. Hum, Your Excellency, Dr. Pratana Srisuk, Director of TGBC Thailand, Your Excellency, Professor Dr. Hassan Al-Osli, Vice Dean of Faculty of Business, Karabük University, Turkey, Your Excellency, Mr. Yosef Bakil, Researcher in Public Law and Political Science, Morocco. And all my respect is already dedicated to the participants of ICANN 2023. I do apologize that I could not come among the participants in Malaysia because of my duties here. Thank you so much to the dear committee of the conference for the special occasion. Well, let me comment this speech now. This title provides an understanding that it is very necessary to think and contribute about social science and multi-sectoral strategy to restore the welfare of the post-pandemic communities. The COVID-19 pandemic structurally affects all aspects of human life and society everywhere. This has an impact on economic, political, social, cultural, and even security aspect. There are two important moments related to this. COVID-19 and global science entering the era of Industrial Revolution 4.0 and Society 5.0. So the tools and contribution are needed to enter the post-pandemic era. In this case, I will highlight more on the human resources side. What industrial revolution is? The industrial revolution, it requires us to understand three main literacies, namely data literacy or big data, digital literacy or digital iteration, and human literation. A tools that is trying to be afforded in this term is the contribution of social science and multicultural strategies for the restoration of community welfare. So that if it is associated with the era of the Industrial Revolution 4.0, it will lead to at least three things related to human resources, namely creativity, innovation, and technology. Okay, next. The COVID pandemic that occurred resulted in the situation and condition of society. The world of education and the economy, business being disrupted, as well as global change entering the Industrial Revolution 4.0 era. This affects three main things, namely technology, social, and environment. For the technology sector, disruption impact all sectors, including application of AI, artificial intelligence, automation, 5G connectivity, enabling interconnected technologies such as unmanned vehicle, drone, etc., 3D printing, virtual reality, etc. For the sociocultural field, demographic change were related to increasing life expectancy, growing migration, urbanization, cultural diversity, an increasingly mobile and flexible workforce, and emerging consumer concerns for ethics, privacy, and health. For the environmental sector adjustment effort needed because of change that require strategic action regarding. There is a fuel and energy crisis, water, climate change, and rising sea levels, meaning that is necessary to understand some of the main things related to environmental change, namely increasing energy and water needs along with the reduction of natural resources, increasing attention to alternative energy to fight climate change, and sustainable effort on environmental issues such as plastic and nuclear waste. Okay, next. The COVID-19 pandemic, which occurred in 2020 until 2021, affect various sectors of people lives, education, and business. COVID-19 has an impact on all sectors of life, namely the economy, social, culture, environment, politics, and even security. The pandemic is driving very rapid structural change, especially in the world of education and the world of work. Namely, for the world of education, implementing distance learning, online and or hybrid. On the other hand, educational institutions are under a lot of financial pressure. For the business world and industry, all the world of work, namely accelerated digital access in all industries, greater pressure to update skills, for example, cybersecurity, and location of entrepreneurial opportunities as an economic force, especially in small and medium enterprise sector. The thing that's contribute to the thing of the post-pandemic era and entering the industrial revolution 4.0 era is the emergence of a trend of change, especially in the field of human resources. Structurally, the emergence of new types of work, a multi-generational and diverse workforce, where for the first time in history there are 5 generations working simultaneously. And current work is not limited by structure and place, which means that work can be done everywhere and with flexible time. Worker autonomy, careers are determined by the worker, not the company, meaning workers have more control over their career paths. Technology empowerment, example, digitalization and automatization, where technology simplifies daily work, access and processing of data in increasingly massive. For example, data provides a better understanding of behavior. To prepare reliable human resources post-pandemic, According to the World Economic Forum, there are 10 top skills needed in the future. Namely, number one, complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, human resources management, coordinating with others, emotional intelligence, judgment and decision making, service orientation, negotiation, and cognitive flexibility. We would conclude that we should be focused of the post-pandemic era and entering the era of the Industrial Revolution 4.0 and Society 5.0 is focus on strengths and deal with limitations. Thus, and hopefully, this will be useful contribution for all us. Thank you very much. Hope to see and meet in person or group on the other occasion. Good day.
Thank you so much, Pak Rector, for your wonderful presentation. We are very delightful to hear your presentation, to learn a lot about your presentation today. Thank you so much, Pak Rector.
Dr. Yoga, enough. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
My
You're
session.
welcome. Yeah. And I heard that you will be leaving. Bapak kelihatannya sibuk ya tadi Pak Jating juga kalau Bapak will be leaving soon because you have so many agenda. Yeah, Bapak, hello. Yeah, I heard that you will be leaving soon because you have so many agendas waiting for you, right? Bapak akan meninggalkan tempat dengan segera nih kata Pak Jati. Bapak ada banyak agenda, so you will be leaving soon katanya kata beliau.
Sedang ada acara dies.
Oh, gitu ya Pak Rektor,
Ya.
Pak Ketua. Baik, itu sebuah kehormatan buat kami di sini Pak Ketua bisa hadir hari ini dan presentasi hari ini. Terima kasih banyak, kami belajar banyak dari presentasi Pak Ketua hari ini. And nice meeting you Pak Ketua.
Terima kasih. Thank you so much.
Have a nice day Pak Ketua. Bye-bye. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, is Dr. Pratana still here? Dr. Pratana, hello. Dr. Pratana. Dr. Pratana, operator, okay. Dr. Pratana is also busy. He is leaving. And Mr. Yosef Bakir is still here. Nada, yeah? Nobody is here, yeah? All the presenters are leaving. Yeah, because they already asked permissions to me. Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, we have come to the end of the main stations or the panel stations. So there is no question and answer. I would like to deliver. It's an honor for me to deliver the agenda to our master of ceremony because Pak Abi will lead for the parallel station. Thank you so much, Pak Abi.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yoga Prihatin MPD, for handling the panel session. And also, thank you for all the amazing speakers. Hopefully, what has been given can be knowledge for all of us. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we move to next agenda is panel session. Parallel session, sorry. Okay, in the parallel session, we have one presenter from Universitas Pancasakti Tegal. presenters Nauris Meristiani with paper title Improving Students' Speaking Skills in Learning Procedure Text by Applying Project-Based Learning Model. To Miss Nauris Meristiani, time's yours.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for the first opportunity given to me to deliver my research that we did in team. The name of Ilham Arifianto Aziz, and the second is me, myself, and the third is Ms. Izdar Diana. Our research title is Improving Student Speaking Skill in Learning Project Procedure Type by Applying Project-Based Learning Model. Okay, let's just go directly to the introduction. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we all know that English is very important, especially for the speaking skill. As you realize now, everyone needs English to be able to communicate widely internationally. So if we understand English, it will be easier for us to understand people in the worldwide. Well, when we talk about teaching English at school, so the question is that have the students given opportunity to deliver, to practice English with this engage with their daily life? Have the students given the opportunity to deal with things that they can use English practically? So those questions trigger us to do the research to apply project-based learning at school. It is student-centered pedagogy that requires a dynamic school approach where students are believed to gain deeper knowledge through active exploration of real-world challenges and problems. So the purpose of this study is that to find out whether or not there is a positive effect in using the PBL model to improve the student speaking skill, especially in learning procedure text in class 12 students, and in this case is in high school, SMA 1 Tanjung Brebes, Central Java, Indonesia. All right, there are some previous studies that we referred to. The first one is a study by Al-Fatiha et al., who revealed that PBL has significantly improved the student speaking skills. And also from Soleimani et al., who reported that students who were taught using PGBL outperformed students who were taught using instruction based on the student textbook. So we believe that this PGBL model also applicable to the students in SMA 1 Tanjung. When talking about speaking skill, it is very important, and according to Ladouceur in Nugraha, it is the ability to express oneself in a situation or ability to report acts or situations in precise words, or the ability to converse or express a sequence of ideas fluently. Okay, next. Yeah, when the students learn project-based learning model, we have to know first what is PGBL. Well, it is a learning model that provides educators to manage classroom learning by involving project work. Okay, next. So in PGBL, what will PGBL do here? It improves students' ability to solve project problems and then gaining new knowledge and skills in learning. And then next, making students more active in solving complex project problems with real product results, developing and improving student skills in managing materials or tools to complete tasks or projects. And the last is increasing students' collaboration, especially in groups. So we do not focus only on the students' speaking skill, but also they will deal with the real life project. Okay, next.
this is what we did in stages of project-based learning. There are 8 stages. The first one is starting from choosing the project until evaluating the project. Right? And how do we do the research? We did a pre-experimental research with one group pretest, post-test design. So we chose only one class in a class 12 of SM1 Tanjung. Here, wait a second. The independent variable is PGBL model, and then the dependent variable is student speaking skill, while the control variable is student beginning ability. Okay, when we apply this project, the first one, we gave a pretest to measure the student speaking skill, and then next. And then we give the treatment. Yeah, next. And how did we do the treatment? Okay. In the first meeting, we chose the project subjects based on the curriculum. So we asked students to to create a project based on the using procedure text. Yeah. And then discuss with students, and then we provided materials from group randomly and give each group a project title, including project timeline sheet, and students design project activities. And then in the second meeting, we carried out the project activities where they worked on the plans and design of the previous stage. They also gather information and consulted about difficulties encountered when working with teachers, contingent project plans outside of meetings, such as In the third meeting, the researchers saw the best video in class, then gave an assessment and evaluated the project. Okay, the next, please. In the last meeting, we gave posters to measure the students' speaking ability in learning procedure text. Okay, next. Yeah, this is the stages of project-based learning. Starting from pre-test, the students had the speaking test and then choose the topic, and then they write the project that they are going to have in pre-communication stage. And then the researcher asked question, and then students create timeline. And this is how the students created the project, and then they took a video of, for example, how to make a pencil box. Another procedure text like how to use washing machine, something like that. And then when they have finished with the project, these are the examples of their video. So they create a content like this with the steps, and they also use English to to explain the steps in the video. And then the teacher gave the students evaluation. Okay, next. Yeah, from the result of the student, we have for aspects, and fluency, and these are the results. And we see there is an improvement. Next. In the last, from pre-test to post-test, there is an improvement. 58%. Okay, next. And this is the frequency and rate percentage of the student scores. Yeah, next. Yeah. Okay, next. Oh, wait a second. So here, from the result, we can see that since the significance level for the total yeah, 0.00, 0.05, we can conclude that the hypothesis 0 was not supported and the hypothesis 1 was supported. It means the PGBL has a significant or discernible impact on the students' level of linguistic proficiency. Okay, next. Yeah, then this is the result. We believe that based on the facts, PGBL has improved the students' ability in vocabulary, in grammar, fluency, and okay, next. Yeah, so we can conclude that using PGBL model to improve speaking skill in procedure text in class 12 of SMA Negeri 1 Tanjung Brebes is effective, yeah, as shown by the scores. I think that's all my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Noris May Christiani, for the okay. Thank you so much for Ms. Noris May Christiani for the great presentation and for all participant and also participant in Zoom. Do we have question for the if there is no question, we will move the next agenda. It means we will close this agenda. Okay. If there is no question for all the participant, I think enough for this agenda. Okay, if there is no question, we will move to another presenter. We have Elma Duwita. Hello, Elma Duwita, are you there? Hello, Miss Elma. Miss Elma will be presented with the paper title Exploring Non-English Department Students Difficulties in Speaking English. Hello, Miss Elma or Mr. Rofi Udin.
Hello.
Okay, please do.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for giving me the Thank you for giving me the opportunity to present our research with the title Exploring Student Difficulties in Speaking English Faced by the Non-English Department Student, a case study on the students of Economic Study Program at Universitas Pancasakti Tegal in academic year of 2022-2023 by first Alma Dita Pujalestari and second Dr. Yoga Prihatin MPD. Third, Dr. Anis Sofi Udin M. Hum. Next.
Miss Elma, sorry disturbing you up. You have 10 minutes and I will remind you about the time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Chapter 1, background of the study. Speaking is the practice of spoken language that has meaning, so everyone must understand every word because it uses a foreign language. Speaking skill will help someone to expressing interesting ideas verbally. But in reality, there are still many students, especially non-English students who do not understand sentences and words spoken in English orally. Non-English students often have difficulty learning to speak English, which is influenced by several factors. The researchers chose a sample of students in the 4th and 6th semester of the English Education Study Program of Pancasakti University. In the 4th and 6th semester of the Economic Education Study Program at Pancasakti University Tegal. Because first they had learned English in class, secondly the limited hours of study made the material so limited, especially lacking in learning speaking, so that it made them feel difficult in English. The researchers limit the research problem to what linguistic and non-linguistic factors influence students of the non-English study program at Pancasakti University of Tegal in learning speak English. Statement of the problem, what non-linguistic factors influence students to have difficulty learning speaking English, what linguistic factors influence students to have difficulty learning to speaking English. Objective of the research, to find out the non-linguistic factors that affect difficulties in speaking English, to find out the linguistic factors that influence difficulties in speaking English. Conceptual or operational definition, speaking skill by Dueno in Dalam 2070. Speaking English one is a typical challenge for non-native speakers. Difficulty in speaking Besar 1996 speaking issue are a threat of speaking to more than one or two people at once, especially in public, non-English department. As youth 2012, one of the primary issue in education is the curriculum. Next, significances of the research. Theoretical significances can provide information and input on student difficulty in learning speaking English. Significances of practical significances for the teacher, improving their understanding of the difficulty students face in learning speaking English for the student, to improve their abilities in learning speaking for the researchers as a new research from other researcher. Chapter 2, review of related literature. First, Zainur Rahman and Sumani Sangaji from STKIP Kiraha Ternate 2070, a study on the university students in speaking difficulties. Dr. Ahmad Maher Mahmud Al-Nahala 2070, Al-Quds Open University, with the title Problem and Difficulties in Speaking Faced by English Student, Al-Quds Open University. Ikrar K. Nidal Riyadil 2020, Tidar University Magelang, Indonesia, with the title Student Perception Study, Identifying Problem of EFL Learners Speaking English, Lingga et al. 2020, from Prima Indonesia University with the title Student Strategies in Learning Speaking Skill at SMP Nasrani Tri Medan. Review of related theories. Meaning of speaking. Speaking is an oral productive skill that involves verbal and non-verbal symbols with construct and various meaning. The purpose of speaking from Rao 2019, speaking enables one to share knowledge, inspire others, convince and influence them, amuse them, and come to mutual understanding and agreement. Types of speaking from Brown 2004 state that there are several basic types of speech as follow: imitation, intensive, responsive, interactive, and extensive. The non-English department in University Pancasakti Tegal, SU 2012, one of the primary issues in education is curriculum. The Economic Education Study Program is one of the study program in the Teacher Training and Education Faculty at Pancasakti University of Tegal. Difficulties in learning speaking. Speaking difficulties are problems that prevent someone from speaking effectively. Speaking problem can be characterized as various kinds of problems that arise between speaker or listener. From Johanna 2012, in her study, she comes to the conclusion that several psychological characteristics, such as shyness, anxiety, and the fear of making mistakes, driven from speaking English in class. Non-linguistic factors faced by the student in the yes.
Hello, Miss Alma. Can we move
Hello?
to the next chapter or just discussion?
Okay.
Your time is running out.
Chapter 4, research result and discussion. And fear of mistake, we can see 40% choose agree, 30% agree, and 9% neutral, 6% disagree, and 3% strongly disagree. Or you can see in my PPT. Next chapter is discussion. Non-linguistic factor, there are fear of mistake. The majority of respondents, 43% choose agree and 40% strongly agree that they were afraid of making mistake in learning to speak English. However, 9% of the total respondents choose neutral, and the rest 6% disagree and 3% strongly disagree. Final sum of respondents, 40% agree, 37 strongly agree that they were embraced to speak English, and 9% of the total respondents answered neutral, and the rest 14% choose agree, not agree, and that they are embraced to speak English. So next, anxiety, 46 agree, 31% strongly agree that they had anxiety in learning to speak English. The remaining 40% of the total respondents neutral, 6% disagree, 3% strongly disagree that they had anxiety in learning to speak English. Lack of confidence, and criteria 4, as much 46% agree and 26% strongly agree that they lack confidence in speaking English. Meanwhile, 70% total respondent neutral, and the rest 11% answer disagree. Lack of motivation, in the result of criteria 4, 46% agree, 26% strongly disagree, experiencing a lack of motivation in learning to speak English, 70% neutral, 11% disagree. Next, linguistic factors. 40% agree and 26 choose not strongly agree of the total respondents agree that the lack of vocabulary made it difficult for them to learn to speak English, while the rest answered neutral 23% and 9% disagree, and the last 3% strongly disagree. Lack of grammar mastery. In criteria 4, there are 40% of the total respondents agree, 34% strongly agree that the lack of mastery grammar made it difficult for them to learn to speak English. Meanwhile, 70% choose neutral and 9% not to agree. And the last factor is non-pronunciation. 46% of total respondents agree that 20% strongly agree that pronunciation was one of the factors that made them difficult to learn to speak English. 7% for neutral and the remaining 70% disagree. The conclusion of the researchers were drawn based on the data that had been reviewed in the previous chapter. Because of difficulties experienced by non-English students, in non-linguistic factors are fear of mistake, that the mind cause, sinus, anxiety, lack of confidence, lack of motivation, which are minor cause they experience in learning to speak English. In terms of linguistic factors, it was found that lack of vocabulary and lack of mastery of grammar were the main causes, while pronunciation is a small part of the reason they have difficulty of speaking English. Okay, thank you. I think that's all my presentation. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much for Miss Elma Dwita for your nice presentation. Okay,
You're welcome.
finally, ladies and gentlemen, we have to come to the end of agenda. This is a closing, and also we say thank you so much for all the presenter in parallel session, Miss Norris, and also Miss Elma, and also all of the participant online. Thank you for your coming and your cooperative and attention listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And for all the online participants, do not leave the room. You can open the camera. We will take picture together from here. Please. Silakan. Open kamera, kita mau ambil foto bersama terlebih dahulu sebelum live. Oh, sorry. Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Kita foto bersama di depan.